Welcome to the Shikama Live Show with your host, Shikama. I'm sorry that I took a break. I've been sick. I told you I was sick, and I've been sick, and so I took like a week off of being sick. I guess I have the coronavirus. I don't know. I don't go to the doctor because the doctor is where I got the sickness from in the first place. I am still, if you can tell, my entire face is swollen up. My mouth is swollen. Nothing's working. If you would, please donate 20 to 50 bucks at paypal.me/Shikama or cash.app/$Shikama. Before I get into this essential worker stimulus package update, which is going to be comprehensive, should be short. I don't expect this to go 30 minutes. Let me first say this. The statistics have come out that this is the largest unemployment that the United States has ever faced in the history of the United States. The people being laid off from their jobs has been more than the country has ever seen, ever. And some of the data has come in that has shown that black people have been laid off more than anybody else. Now, I haven't seen the data, but I'm going to go out on a limb and say that black women constitute probably 80% of that statistic. Why do I say that? Because I've actually noticed in all of the stores that I go around and see that mostly women have been laid off. First of all, the data is that most of the people laid off for this period have been women. I believe it has been an excuse to lay off women who are not the workers that the businesses actually wanted to hire. We're talking about the least efficient workers in the business. We're talking about the most problematic workers in the business. And we're talking about the most unprofitable workers in the business. The whole reason that a position is available for you is that the company is trying to make a profit off of your labor, such that if you do not make the company a bunch of money, they don't want to keep you around. This is why they want experienced people to work for them. So I go to all the stores and now I see a bunch of men working. Did they hire more men? No. It's just that they let the women go. And so now the men have full-time employment or even overtime. So the data statistics saying that black and Latino employees are the most laid off. Every time I see something on Twitter, Facebook, it is always a woman talking about she's been laid off across the board. Is it just that men don't make those videos? No, because I have seen one guy say he was laid off. I have seen one guy tweet that he was laid off. But across the board, I see mostly women talking about they were laid off. Now, is that an excuse to lay women off due to this thing? I believe so. But then we go back to why were they hired in the first place? They were hired in the first place because there are regulations in place to say you must hire women. That means that businesses are biting the bullet and losing money to hire women. There are private for-profit businesses and they are going into debt on hiring women. So now we have this come along. Everybody talks about they're going to let people go and lay them off. And this is why I'm doing these whole stimulus packages updates to make sure that businesses know that they can keep their staff. If you go for the PPP loan, or the emergency payroll loans, which if you agree to all the terms of the payroll loan, you can actually get it excused. So you can take out up to something like $25 million or something like that. If you are going to keep all of your staff members on and at the same exact salary. And while the giant corporations went for it, a lot of the smaller businesses did not. Because the whole idea of the forgiveness of the loan is at the back end of it. So the loan comes retroactively. So you have to foot the bill until such time as you actually get the tax deduction at the end of the year. These businesses don't have customers coming through the door, so they can't pay these people. This is why they're letting these women go, because they are the least profitable employees of the company. Now you keep all of the profitable employees, all those regulations go out the window, keep the most profitable employees. Now the business can actually operate on a shoestring budget and make a profit. I'm going to go over the short of the report is that Mitt Romney made a proposal on top of the Essential Worker Patriot Pay Act, talking about the essential workers need to be paid more. Here are the key points. Frontline workers, they're proposing, or he proposed, an extra $12 an hour for May, June, and July. Anybody who makes $90,000 a year and under, businesses gets tax credit. However, the tax credit actually falls short of the 100% of the $12 an hour. The business taxes have to be paid on the extra $12 an hour. Do you understand this? Okay, let me explain that for you a second here. For every dollar that a business actually pays the employee, on the back end, now the business has to pay a whole bunch of regulations and taxes and fees and this and that and the other. If they're going to up their pay by $12 an hour, the business now has to pay all of those extra taxes and fees and stuff behind the scenes. And this is the same hoax about that whole $15 an hour. At $7 an hour, the employer already pays $7 an hour behind the scenes. So technically, you're making $15 an hour. You just don't see it because the government takes away from you all of that off the top. If you actually got to see the books of the business and you look up John Smith, who works at $7 an hour, you would see on the books John Smith actually makes $15 an hour once you add up all of the taxes and fees and this tax and that tax and that tax, right? Comes to $15 an hour. You already make $15 an hour. It's just that you are paying most of that to the government. And even then, when you get your paycheck, you still have to pay taxes and fees and whatnot on your side of the books. Now, this proposal was made by Mitt Romney, but it has no teeth, and essentially, no employer would go for it because it would gut the business. Most businesses operating on a tiny margin. After paying all of their light bills and employees and cost of goods sold, and a lot of owners don't make money. Did you know that? This is why they go out of business the first year. What is it? Something like 90% of businesses go out of business the first year that they open. Think about this. Do you work in a business and they keep the door open in the winter or summer and the air just goes out? So they have to pay all of that air conditioning and they have to make it super efficient so that the refrigerated section still stays refrigerated. The customers are still comfortable when they come into the business. Have you ever gone into a business that didn't have air? I've lived in several countries overseas. I've gone into plenty businesses that didn't have air or any sort of air conditioning at all, not even a fan. It is miserable to walk around trying to spend your money in such a place. Thank God they're tiny. So now you would never operate your home like that, would you? Would you open up all of your doors and turn on your air conditioning and make sure that the inside of the house actually stayed cool enough so that you could walk in and out of the doorways and have it nice and cool inside of the house, even when it's blistering hot outside? You would never do that. But for a business, that's how they operate. Now that I've pointed this out to you, I want you to go around and check and see all the stuff in your businesses and the store where you work at, because this is who we're talking about. We're talking about people who are on minimum wage or very low wages. So 9 times out of 10, they're going to be working in a store or a restaurant. You know that the store or the restaurant, now I want you to pay attention, that it's bleeding money. As much as you want to complain about how low your salary is, I want you to go around and I want you to see how the business is just bleeding money, that if you were in charge and you were running it like you run your house, that you wouldn't do half the stuff that the business does, but because you would be paying out the nose for all of the utilities and all the other stuff. All right? The owner has to pay for all of that bleeding stuff. All of these people thinking that the owners are making money from these stores need to understand the owner had money and then opened the store And then a lot of them went broke from opening the store, from owning the store, right? Here's some extra bad news. If your store doesn't pay the extra $12 an hour, but another store does in the same type of business, now all of the good employees will go to that other store, and all of the bad employees will be fired. And the store that didn't pay the extra $12 an hour might go out of business completely due to public pressure. Oh, this store didn't pay the extra $12 an hour to the essential frontline workers who are still working during this whole lockdown situation. And what's going to happen is large corporations are going to come in and swoop in and buy all of those tiny stores. Don't say it's not going to happen, because it happens all the time. Now, let's get to a more in-depth analysis, and this is from Forbes by Tarina Allen, who is a contributor to Forbes magazine. Essential workers on the front lines aren't doing so well. What message will it send if most white-collar workers are sent to the back line for safety, while most blue-collar workers are actually ordered almost to stay on the front line, where they are certainly putting themselves and their families at greater risk of contracting the disease? Yesterday, a client asked about my company and my team and my family. I answered that all is well on my end. I answered that all of us are safe and explained that things were running smoothly after some earlier adjustments. I answered that remote work and technological options were helping to help us stay safe, deliver service, and conduct business. But I shared the profound sadness I felt about those who are being hit hard by this. I shared the distress I feel when I think of the essential frontline workers who risk their health, safety, and lives every single day to ensure that each of us can continue to do well, protect our families, live our lives, and run our business. More importantly, I express discontent with the fact that as a country, we keep celebrating essential workers, the so-called heroes, but the country hasn't yet passed even one bill to pay these employees more. Some of us are tipping more. We donate more, and we applaud as they walk by. We even share social media clips of people clapping and whistling as they begin and end their shifts. But we haven't done one thing as a country to mourn the passing, and we haven't done one thing to truly honor our quote-unquote heroes. Basically, the message being sent to essential workers is that we appreciate you, we're grateful to you, we truly thank you, but we might never pay you, not what you're worth, right? So the Patriot Pay Act plan, here are the key proposals. Some in Congress are pushing to change this situation. Last month, Senator Schumer championed the Heroes Fund proposal that, if passed, would provide up to $25,000 for essential workers. And now Senator Romney has put forward a proposal to provide up to $1,920 a month and max out at $5,760 after 3 months. This new Senate proposal is officially called Patriot Pay. It presents a plan to provide hazard pay compensation for essential workers, employees on the front lines. Senator Romney unveiled this proposal Friday, May 1st. If Patriot Pay passes, as outlined today, essentially, workers will receive a pay raise of $12 an hour for the 3-month period of May, June, and July. These monies would be provided above and beyond their regular wages or salary income. Here are some more details. A full-time essential employee could get as much as $1,920 per month for 3 months and would max out at $5,760 total throughout the 3-month period. The proposal is for essential employees who earn $90,000 per year or less. The amount you could get varies depending on earnings. For example, those earning less than $50,000 per year would receive up to $12 more per hour, but those who earn between $50 and $90 per year would receive an hourly bonus of an amount below $12 an hour. Basically, the more you earn, the less hourly bonus you'd qualify for. The max bonus would be $12 an hour, which is kind of funny because a lot of nurses do make more than $50,000 a year, right? A lot of doctors make more than $50,000 a year, right? I guess we want to pay them, but we don't really want to pay them. The extra hourly income would be funded partly because by the employer and the government, with the employer funding 1/3 of it and the government funding 2/3. I'm sorry, the employer funding 1/3 of it and the government funding 2/3 of the bonus payment. So essentially the employer, the business, is going to have to fork over an extra amount of money that they're not getting in any sort of customers or clienteles or sales. They're just going to have to grin and bear it because they really like employees. To be eligible, essential workers must work a minimum of 100 hours in a given month. Congress and the Department of Labor would decide which worker and industries are deemed essential for eligibility purposes. Right now, Romney's proposal indicates that essential workers would include hospitals, food distributors and processors, and health manufacturers. However, it would not be limited to those workers. Decisions still need to be made on this. Romney provides this example for how the plan would work. A grocery store in Provo, Utah could opt into Patriot Pay to give their workers an extra $12 an hour bonus. The employer would contribute $3, while the federal benefit would add $9, meaning a $10 an hour worker would receive $5,760 bonus from May 1st through the end of July. The grocery store worker's weekly paycheck would include an extra $480. Do you understand that a grocery store during this lockdown has about 40% less customers, less clientele? Do you understand that? Now, well, we feel sorry for these people having to work. You're going to put companies out of business. Or you're going to make the environment so toxic for them to operate their business if they decide not to pay their worker extra $12 an hour. And they'll have to go out of business. Now everybody who works there is out of a job. And all of the people around that grocery store are now out of a grocery store. Will the Patriot Pay become law? As with congressional proposal, it remains to be seen. This situation is hitting us hard, but we can't deny that it's hitting some of us harder than others. Essential workers are experiencing more pain and more suffering. Essential workers risk more than most of us. These employees are simply being asked to give more. An earlier and still pending proposal to deliver hazard pay to essential workers is part of the HEROES Fund. It is Democratic-led proposal and calls for up to $25,000 for frontline essential workers. When you consider that proposal with this new Patriot Pay plan, a Republican-led proposal calling for up to $5,760, it does appear that Congress just might come together and pass something for frontline workers. The good news is that members on both sides of the aisle are calling for some form of hazard pay or premium pay bonus for essential workers. Some on both sides indicate a desire to compensate these employees for the added burden, risk, and sacrifices they are enduring. Here's quotes from Senator Romney. Patriot Pay is a way for us to reward our essential workers as they continue to keep America safe, healthy, and fed. Senator Schumer, getting hazard pay approved in the next phase relief bill is one of our biggest or very highest priorities. However, are we really in this together? The absolutely only reason that most of us are in this society continue to do well is because essential workers are bearing the brunt of this situation. We talk about how we're all in this together, but we don't all suffer the same consequences and pain that this situation is inflicting. To put it bluntly, essential workers are being asked to do more. Most of us continue to feel safe because essential workers don't get to feel safe. Most of us have toilet paper and food because essential workers continue to work and put their lives at risk. And some feel free to complain and even protest about staying home because they trust that if they do indeed get ill, essential workers will be waiting on staff at a medical facility and ready to their lives to save us. And here are some of the other topics around this. We have the up to $25,000 hazard pay for essential workers, one of our very highest priorities by Schumer. Senate proposal up to $25,000 pay raise for these essential workers. IRS sends stimulus check to 88 million people with a state-by-state breakdown if you want to see that. Employees speechless after getting up to $9,000 bonus check. 16% unemployment this summer, CBO's prediction, and how to prepare for it. Suspend your mortgage payment and keep your home with forbearance. The $2,000 versus the $1,200 stimulus check, and all of the differences about of it, and $5,500 for families and $2,000 for individuals in emergency cash. Now, if you want me to go over any of those, please indicate the specific item in the comment section. Thank you all for helping. I, of course, am all for people getting paid, but I want to give you all the entire picture. I'm not going to give you a one-sided picture. I'm not going to say, hey, this is fantastic. People should get more money. I want you to have all of the details so that you are, as an adult, can determine where you want to stand on this. Because as I said, there are pros and cons to all of this. It's not going to help anybody if the business goes out of business, right? If the restaurant goes out of business, if the grocery store goes out of business, that's not going to help anyone, right? As much as we want to feel good and sing kumbaya and hold hands and all that sort of stuff, if a business can't afford to pay its workers an extra $12 an hour on top of what they already make, and some corporate entity down this road, it can pay the extra $12 an hour, and it bleeds off all the best employees from its business, and people stand outside and start protesting the business for not paying the workers an extra $12 an hour, and it goes out of business. That means everybody there no longer gets paid. That means you don't have a grocery store. That means you don't have a restaurant. That means you don't have delivery of those products. I want you to have the full picture. A lot of people aren't going to give you the full picture. And the government isn't going to fund this 100%. The business will have to take a dive on this. It's 75% tax deduction for the business. That means a business has to fork over an extra 25% on top of not getting clients. And that means if you took the PPP loan that comes at the end of the year, they're not forking you over money. You're going to get this at the end of everything's going to be taxed if you're doing your books correctly. Everything's going to happen at the end of the year, right? That's on top of all the extra taxes that the employer has to pay on the other side of that. I said I was going to not go 30 minutes, so I'm going to keep this short. Thank you all for watching. Please donate, leave a like, share this video. Thank you. Oh, and I have new merch. Thank you. Take a look.